I am loving fall right now, but look at all that grass. It's actually weeds. Tons and tons of weeds. But I've been finding some fun things as I'm going through these weeds. I've found this big clump. Look at that. That is baby acorn squash. I'm so excited. I guess I must have had one that I didn't take in before and it decomposed, and there it is. And it doesn't look like much right now, but this is all where I had the potatoes last year. And look what I'm finding as I'm taking weeds out. Got that little guy there, another little guy right there, and I've got some other ones kind of here and there. Right there and right there. So this is also where I'm going to be putting the potatoes this year, along with some sweet potatoes. So I'll take you over here. I'll show you what I'm planting today. So over here I have sitting here waiting to get planted some onions, some purple cabbage, got some little stock flowers and pansies, and I'm so excited, but I actually have some celery. Woohoo! One thing that's nice with all this green growing, I've been throwing a bunch of it with the chickens and they just love it. But before I can get any of those veggies in the ground, first, I've got to take care of all those weeds there. Now it's time to get out the hoe, get that dirt worked around. I'm gonna get my flathead shovel here, and I'm just gonna kind of make things a little bit more organized, make it nice and fine-tuned and get a little smoothed out. So after I smoothed out this whole area to plant the celery, I basically planted the celery in the dark, and that was just fine by me because I really wanted to get those cabbages in the ground in the other planting spots. So that's what you'll be seeing me do next. Really, I planted the celery in the dark. As you can see, I was planting those cabbages as fast as I could. I was really trying to beat that dark. The sun was going down. The chickens had already put themselves to bed, and I really wanted to get those celeries in the ground before it did get dark. As it got too dark, on came the garden lights, and that helped finish planting the celery great. Off to work for 3 days, 12-hour shifts, so I'll show you what I did on my day off. So good morning. It has been 4 days since my last video as I was working into the dark, and today it's been so exciting. I just feel like it's Christmas morning and I'm about to open up presents. So I finally get to see all the vegetables that I planted the other day in the sunlight in the morning. So I'm going to share it with you. Okay, good morning, chickens. So we'll do a start. I planted some flowers. Got more flowers. Just kind of give you a little view of what's going on here. Purple cabbage is one of my fall favorites. It's not good to plant it when it's too warm because it will bolt. Now I bought these at one of our local places and it was towards the end of the summer. Hopefully I'll get that nice round bulbed head, and when I do, they last for a long time in storage. Copenhagen cabbage is a great green cabbage with a nice ball, great flavor, and it will also preserve for a long time, well after fall season is done. Some things that you have to look out for: see how this leaf is curled? Behind it is aphids. Beware, use some soapy water if you need to, other little things that are natural. These are not fall vegetables, but I'm trying hard to hang on to them. I'll probably end up putting a little plastic wrap around them, try to get them warmed up. We love our cabbage on the Shin Homestead, and I am planting a lot of it because it does preserve so well and it's so good for you. This is just another fancier type, a little bit rippled edges, so that's why I call it fancy lettuce. I can't wait till they start forming heads. I just love Swiss chard in these bright colors, packed full of vitamins. I use them in soups, eggs, you name it, I can put them in it. I've even put them in lasagna before. Just absolutely awesome. This is my older bunch. Look at the size of their little trunks. So cool. They produce forever. Kale, another fall favorite of mine. I use it a lot like Swiss chard. I put it in soups, stews, everything, salads, you name it. It goes great in so many things. And this particular kind has these sweet little rippled leaves that are just so yummy. I love this cauliflower. It forms a nice big white head and is so delicious. You can cook it, put it in salads, whatever. It's awesome. Brussels sprouts. They stink when you cook them, but man, are they good. But we love to roast them. They taste delicious that way. If you haven't done it, try it. You might like it. Another fall vegetable packed with nutrition. And as it grows taller, you'll start seeing the Brussels grow right along the stem all around. Great Lakes lettuce is one of my favorites. They taste great. They are packed with nutrients and vitamins, much better than, say, your iceberg lettuce. That's my hubby's favorite. But these are packed with a lot more goodness. Celery, another fall favorite. I love putting peanut butter on celery, cooking them in stews and soups. I use them for so many things. They're so good for you. They have tons of nutrients and minerals, vitamins, salt. It's all good for your system. I still have weeds between the garden beds, but that's okay. I'll get to those. But first, I want to plant the rest of the vegetables, and that includes onions, right through this back side right here behind the celery, and getting those potatoes in the ground. I've got a sack of sweet potatoes right there and a bag of miscellaneous white and purple potato stuff there that are all starting to sprout, so they'll be great for putting in the ground. Some people ask me, why don't you rototill or use the weed eater to get these weeds up? But with me, I'd rather pull them out by hand. That way you're getting the roots and everything. Otherwise, they're just going to continue to grow from the roots. Plus, there's so much river rock that is under our ground. All these rocks that are holding down this freeze cloth, there's so many different sizes, huge to tiny. They're like everywhere. I'd use those to circle around one of my little gardens. They all came out of this ground. They're everywhere. So it would probably beat up one of those rototiller blades anyways. Pulling them out by the root is the best way. Then I can make compost out of it anyways. What I'm gonna do now is plant these yellow sweet Spanish onions. Those should be pretty tasty. I think I've planted those ones in the past and they really have a great taste to them. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of flatten this out a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything super special, but I didn't really fix it up just yet. And Once I pull these out of the container, you're just going to pull out one cell pack. There's a bunch of them in each cell pack. So once I get them out, ever so carefully, then I'm going to kind of break up the roots apart, not ripping them a lot, just kind of slowly trying to separate these individual plants. There's 3 right here in this particular cell there. And so what I do is I just kind of carefully break it all up. I don't want to disturb their root ball too much. I want to kind of separate them so that eventually here, as I get some of that dirt out of there, their roots will come apart more and more. And then you can start kind of tugging at them, see if any of them are loose yet, which none are quite loose yet. And I just keep working that little soil around those roots until they are finally loose enough from each other where I can kind of slither them out from each other. You want to do this carefully so that you don't end up ripping the whole root from the stem. That way I can plant each one individually. Okay, they're really starting to kind of get a little loosened from each other. I keep playing with the bottom ones. Same way I untangle hair. Just keep on playing with them, and pretty soon, look at that, they're starting to kind of give way from each other. There you go. There, and now I have a great root system for this particular plant and the others. And you just keep on doing that. Just kind of keep jiggling them ever so slightly until they just kind of slowly let go of each other without disturbing the roots hardly at all. There you go. There's 3 plants ready to plant right there in the ground. Now, I've found great success with taking each onion bulb, if you want to call it that, and planting it to about right here to where this bulbish part is under the ground. I just dig a hole big enough for the roots to lie down in the deep dirt there without having to be messed up too much. I spread out the little roots so that they're not in just one spot, and then I carefully just hold it up slightly so that by the time the dirt gets around the area, the roots are being laid in there in such a way where they're nice and relaxed and not compounded. And then you're just going to kind of press a little bit, not a lot, just to get out the air pockets, and that's it. And then I find that a general rule is planting them at least 3 to 4 inches apart from each other. It just gives them room to spread the roots out and grow as big of an onion as they absolutely can. Okay. There we go. Onions are just fantastic. You can cook them in anything. My friend loves them raw. I can't eat them that way personally, but they store for a very long time. It's just an amazing vegetable. Thanks for joining me in the garden today. I really hope that you're enjoying my videos and that you'll subscribe and keep joining me. And hopefully I'll inspire you to get in your garden, on your deck, wherever you can, and plant your own vegetables organically and enjoy knowing what's in your food, how it's been handled, and live a healthier lifestyle. Until next time, God bless you guys and happy planting.